Hey everyone, and welcome to another What Sold on eBay video for you today. In these videos, we're going to show some of the things that we sold this week in our charity shop, and there's a few items towards the end of this video. On Worth Point, we're going to take a deep dive into the knowledge base on a couple items, so you definitely want to stay tuned and watch the video all the way through. If you appreciate these videos, definitely go down there and click the like button. I do these videos for free, and with 30 years of reselling experience, I hope some of my knowledge, pain, and suffering could be passed on to you. Not the pain and suffering, but the but the knowledge part. And I think that's why you enjoy these videos. So going down there and clicking the like button definitely helps. So I really appreciate that. So let's get right into it. First up, we have this Jay Johnstone autographed baseball. Jay Johnstone is a professional baseball player from the late 70s into the 80s. He played on many teams, and we're going to do a video about autographs pretty soon. We talked about that and how, I kind of specialize a little bit in autographs and what to look out for, how to determine what autograph is what, because you'll find these kind of things out there on the field a lot. No pun intended with finding these on the field. Finding these out there in the field, you'll see this ball in a basket of tennis balls and things at a garage sale or at a estate sale, and you'll wonder who this is. I'll show you in that video, like kind of the tips and tricks and how to determine what is what, and so we'll do that. But anyways, this ball sold for $9.99. Some pretty good deals out there. This gentleman, Jay Johnstone, was known as like a baseball prankster in the clubhouse. He also did some commentary later in his career after his baseball career. So there's lots of this stuff out there. The hard thing, even for me that's been doing this for a long time, is trying to figure out, you know, what signature is what, because you see scribble on a ball and it's like kind of hard to determine who it is. And like I said, if you want to see that video, leave a comment below. Please just leave a comment below. That'll let me know if I should spend the time doing the video, because it's going to take a little bit of work to kind of edit, shoot, and do a whole video on basically signatures and all that kind of stuff. But I would love to do that. But I'm not going to do it if there's no interest. So there's that. Next up, we have this Anne Klein. This is a two-piece suit, new with tags. This sold for, this retailed for $320. We had this up for sale for $74.99 for a while, and we sold it on our 50% off sale, $37.49, which is a good deal for someone who wants some business attire with a relatively good name and Klein. It's not as high end as you think, but someone got a really good deal. And by the way, if you're looking for good deals, definitely go down there and check out the American Cancer Society eBay store. I am the e-commerce manager for them, and I run that eBay business, and having a good time doing it. It's a good mission. So if you're looking for a deal, send me a reasonable offer if you see anything. And if you're in the Los Angeles area, definitely there's a local pickup for free. So check that out. Next up, we have this. This is an ocean liner book. I think this is Greek, if I can remember. This sold for $34.99. The reason why I'm showing you this is books about boats, especially books about boats. That's like I guess that's not really a rhyme. I don't know what you would call it, a limerick. Anyways, boats about boats. I already confused myself. Books about boats. Maybe that's alliteration of some sort. Anyways, keep a lookout for books about boats. Wow, it's like Sally sold seashells by the seashore. Anyways, look out for these. A lot of these older ones won't have barcodes, and I think that's why a lot of people will leave these at like Goodwills and things, because people just run through there with scanners and they don't look up. It's not worth their time to spend an extra minute looking up something. But I'm telling you right now, hardcover books about boats that are kind of weird and odd definitely sell for good money, and there's some of them that actually go for hundreds of dollars. So just keep a lookout for these if you're at a garage sale and you see some hardcover books about boats. Books about that. I should, if I named show episodes, this one would be boats. Books about boat. I gotta move on, or else I'm gonna get stuck on that. Next up, we have this Mason Martin. These are sandals, flat leather shoe. These sold. We actually took a best offer for about 40 something on these. These actually things are pretty beat up. Look at the bottoms here. And you know, these things still sold. You know, it's just getting familiar with brands. This actually came with the box. That's very nice. Well, those retailed for $745. I just noticed that right now. We had this up in our eBay store for over a year. I think we were trying to get 149 for this for a long time. And when I think about it, I think maybe that $149 price is a little high for these shoes. They're pretty beat up. Let me know in the comments below if you think $150 was asking for this was like a little bit too crazy. This was actually one of the very first things I listed when I was hired. I took a lot of their older auctions and I redid the photos. I even took the time to do that. Wow, that shows you how long ago this was. I won't even do that anymore because that just takes extra time. You know, unless it's relevant, you know, like for a shoe, I don't think it's relevant to put, you know, measuring stuff, photos in there. For jewelry and different things like that, where it's like, you know, measuring specific, I think that would do, but I don't think I would ever do the width of a shoe like this anymore. It's too funny. Look at me. This was one of the very first things. Look at even I have the paper in the background because I didn't have like I have a professional kind of setup now, and I wish I could. I should actually do a video on my setup. If you want to see a video on photography setup that I have, leave a comment below. Say, Chris, I want to see the photography video. Definitely. Look at it, I got the paper. I was using paper as like a background. It's a big piece of paper. Anyways, the main point, just research brands. You never know what you'll find. Like I'm a guy. I have no idea about sandals and stuff, and so I have no idea about this. But you know, I just looked up the brand and listed it and sold it 5 years later. Next up, we have this RCA. This is a replacement DVD player remote. I talk about this stuff all the time. This is literally like if there's a bread and butter thing. You know, we all heard of bread and butter items, and if you don't know what bread and butter items, it's basically something that sells through very well. You can acquire it very easily, very cheaply, and sell it and make a profit. You're not going to make huge money off these, though there are some remotes that are actually worth hundreds of dollars. But you find this stuff like at garage sales all the time in those little baskets, you know, the whiskers. You know, the whisker baskets, the wicker baskets, excuse me. The wicker baskets that have like, they say 25 cents and there's like just like junk in it. You can find this kind of stuff in there and get it and sell it. This, I think we took a best offer for like $12 on this one. But, you know, this was something that, you know, you can easily get for $1 or a quarter. Put it all together. Definitely put replacement in the title. I don't know if that helps out a lot, but it definitely sends a signal to the brain saying, oh, you know, I'm looking for this. This is not the unit. It is a replacement portable DVD player remote. All the keywords are in there. I think Cassini would like this a little bit. Also the model number. And for those that don't know, I think I put the model number here. For chargers, the model number will usually be somewhere on the unit and the controller or the remote. I think this one had it inside the battery compartment. So luckily for me, this all was together, so I was able to say, look, this is a DRC6309 remote, because it all came together. And the player wasn't working, so I just decided to, you know, put all this together. This was pretty much in plastic. Removed it, did the photos, sold it. The main point of the story is remotes and battery chargers, phone chargers are bread and butter. Definitely look out for those. Next up, we have this MZ Wallace. This is a New York cross-body purse, black nylon, adjustable handbag. All the keywords, all stuffed right in there for Cassini to enjoy. And as you can see here, this bag sold for $125. This is actually a brand I never heard of before, MZ Wallace. I've never heard this brand before, but I'm a guy, and maybe I shouldn't know about MZ Wallace, or maybe I should. MZ Wallace. Actually, fairly decent quality for a handbag, and so there is that cross-body purse. And thank you, by the way, for the last video asking people whether, you know, what the difference between a handbag and a purse was. I really appreciate that. That was really helpful. Very cool. Next up, we have this Row shoe. This is suede. For those who don't know, the Row is a very high-end clothing brand. They do accessories. They're mostly known for their clothing, but they are also known to do some accessories like handbags and shoes. There is the Row. That's what it looks like. It's actually the Row. And looking this stuff up is very hard because the and row is used so much in different products throughout eBay and WorthPoint. So if I put this in WorthPoint, the row, so many weird things are going to come up. But these are kind of hard to research. But we'll take a little tiny, you know what, we're going to go and take a little bit of a deep dive right now. We're going to actually do a sidetrack. You guys liked a little bit of a sidetrack, so we're going to do a little bit of sidetrack. If you like the sidetracks, definitely go down there and click the like button. We're going to go to row shoe. And I want to show you something real quick. They do actually custom. We've had custom row shoes come in before that go for like $400 or $500. I don't know if they have some of those that we've sold before in here. But see, this is what I'm saying. Like, see some of these boots go for a crazy amount of money. I don't see any custom ones that we sold. I think we sold those on the Real. Anyways, the Row, it's just a brand to look out for. Buy it if it's cheap enough. Anything, like even the just shirts and the clothes. You know, if you can get that stuff for $5, $10, and it's in pretty good condition. We've sold, you know, Row sweaters for crazy money. So definitely look at that. Look at these boots. I didn't even know they made combat boots or Doc Martin ish. I want to see what the logo looks like if they have the logo on the bottom of the. Oh yes, they have their funky logo. So by the way, if it doesn't say the Row, it's kind of like this crosshair R circle thing. That's their also their logo. I forgot. Those are kind of like the newer logos that they're using. I forgot that they do those. So look for that logo. That's what it looks like, and definitely look out for that. Next up, we have these PAR 64 and 46 can movie lights. And I'm not quite, I did do some research on this kind of stuff, but I didn't go deep. And I want to say the PAR 64 is the size of the bulb. And I could be wrong. And anyways, we sold this locally. These things were all kind of like donated. You know, we're in the kind of Studio City, Burbank, California, which is like Disney Studios. Warner Brothers is here. Nickelodeon, and we get kind of like movie-ish stuff, theater stuff in from time to time. And this was just, you know, this was cool. All these lights actually are just, they're plug-in lights. Some of them, you know, you'll find that, you know, you have to like custom rig up the thing for it to plug in, or you know, there's a unit that you need to like use to like plug these all in. But these are all plugged. They all have their bulbs in them, which was very surprising because you'll find these without the bulbs. Anyways, I don't want to go on too much about this. Just to look out for the bulbs too. Actually, go for crazy money. So look out for these high watt bulbs. And I found that these this kind of like a side note for high wattage bulbs. It says do not touch the bare bulbs on these lights with your bare hands. Use a Kleenex. Now, for some of you, you might think, oh, because you'll burn your hands, which is true. You'll burn your hands if these are on and you're touching these bulbs because they're hot. But what I learned by doing research is it's the oils on your fingertips when they get on these glass pieces and then they heat up, the oils bubble on the surface of the glass and they crack. So that's why they say never to touch high wattage bulbs with your bare hands. You really shouldn't be touching any kind of bulbs with your bare hands. I mean, the ones that you have at your house, the iridescent ones are fine. But these high wattage bulbs, you know, the oils on your hands transfer onto the glass. The glass heats up, and basically those oils, how thin as they may be, heat up and crack the glass. So that's just a little bit of a side note and a pro tip. And I know that you all love those kind of like side kind of history and things. And that just goes along with age. Everyone that knows that has been doing this for a while, even if you haven't been doing eBay for a while, you know some different things because of the research you've done. And I really think that's one of my favorite parts about reselling is the history and just the knowledge of learning about different things. And I hope that you guys do appreciate these videos. And if you're not subscribed, please go down there and consider subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. Next up is part of our deep dive for the WorthPoint. You've been waiting for so long. Buyer's Choice. These are kind of like little dolls little figures, and that's what they look like in the bottom. And we're gonna take a little deep dive. I never heard of these before, to be honest. Like, and I've been doing this for a long time, and I never heard of these. They kind of got weird faces. I will believe. I will believe. I will say that the buyer's choice faces of these dolls are weird. It almost looks like that screaming painting, the scream, and it actually has the wooden like plank too. So it's kind of just like it. Anyways, these are weird dolls. These are weird, and this is coming from me who like has dolls in his office, you know. And if you've seen my videos before about my office, you know that I store some of the dolls that we have on eBay in a desk, or kind of like in a display cabinet behind me. But anyways, let's get right into this buyer's choice. You never knew that these things are worth crazy money, but they are. There's some of them, the Christmas ones, carolers, hundreds of dollars. I think these are all handmade, and so they're very special. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't taken a real dive into the history and the creator and the process and where these are produced. Usually I'll do that, and I actually might do that so I can basically gain some more knowledge. But just definitely look out for these. I mean, the faces, you could I mean, if anything, you could see the faces that uh, they're very unique. And when you see those weird faces, you'll know like, oh, this is one of those figures, the buyer's choice figure. And it's buyers with BYER, not BUYER, buyer's choice. And I could even be saying that wrong. But anyways, the main point of it is some of them are worth crazy money. I've never seen these before. If you've seen, if you knew about these, leave a comment below. I'm curious to see if any of the viewers have even heard of these. And like I said, I've been doing this for 30 plus years, and I've never heard of buyer's choice dolls. I've never heard of these. Maybe it's location specific, but definitely look out for those. Next up on our vintage. Next up on our worth point deep dive, we're going to talk about Amish quilts. We sold this Amish quilt for $149. This one is a wedding ring pattern. So when you see this kind of infinity ring pattern, this is called the wedding ring. That's the style. Now, I didn't know anything about Amish quilts, but some of them go for crazy amount of money, and it's usually, the ones from the 1700s. Some of the ones from the 1800s go for thousands of dollars. It's that antique roadshow type of stuff. But this newer stuff, this contemporary stuff, I should say, still goes for good money. This is huge. It was really a pain in the butt to do a photo on this. As you could see, I squeezed together 6 tables to get this photo, and even hung off. It was like that big. Even measuring this by myself. See, I was by myself for this whole situation, and I'm doing that thing again where I go, I'm sorry. Yeah. So, anyways, Amish quilts. Look at this: 12,000, 16,000, 10,000, 9,000, 6,000. I can't tell you like the specifics of, oh, look for this, but you can see that these very like darker patterned ones are the ones to look out for. And these are usually older ones, like I'm talking like 1700s, 1800s, early 1900s. And if you're in Pennsylvania or anywhere in Amish country, I want to say Iowa, but I don't think it's Iowa. I think it's mostly like Pennsylvania that the ones that are worth a crazy amount of money. But anyways, just look for, if you see, because the thing is, like, when I was younger, if I saw this at a garage sale, I'd be like, these are just stupid blankets. Like, literally, that's my mindset. I'd be like, look at these stupid blankets. Who wants this? No one's gonna want this. But look, these are really, see, the thing nice about getting older is you appreciate stuff a lot better. You have an appreciation towards crafts and towards like people's ability to create something with their bare hands. And like, as a teenager, I looked at this stuff and said, God, this is crap. But as like a 40-year-old, I look at this and I'm like, these are actually really amazing that someone took the time to hand stitch this whole thing. I mean, this is just a work of art, and like that just shows you that on our path in this human journey, it's all about evolution of your mind, body, and spirit. Oh, I'm gonna get too deep, and you you guys don't want to see deep Chris at all. Trust me, that's where the subscriber count goes down. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, definitely go down there and click the subscribe button. Click the bell for notifications so you become aware when a new video comes out. And if you appreciated this video at all, click the like button. It's free. You can do it. It takes a second. It shows YouTube that these videos are worth showing to other people, and knowledge is power. The more you learn, the more you earn. Once again, I'm Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. We'll see you next time. Take care.